In this video, I would be talking about that may seem small but has a huge impact on your GCMS results. That is your inlet liners. If you ever wondered why your peaks are tailing or why your sensitivity suddenly dropped, the answer might be sitting right inside your inlet. So let's get started. So what is exactly a GC liner or an inlet liner? So as you can see in this picture, there's a glass tube-like structure. So this is your GC liner. It is glass or quartz tube that sits inside the gas chromatograph's heated inlet, and this is where your liquid sample gets injected and instantly it vaporizes and then travels into the column. It might look simple, but this little tube can make or break your analysis. So let's talk about the anatomy of the liner. Most liners are 70 to 120 millimeters long with an inner diameter of 2 to 4 millimeters, and they are made up of glass or quartz and have a special deactivation coating on the inside. Now this coating, it prevents your analytes from sticking to the glass surface or decomposing. The volume of the liner is crucial. It needs to accommodate your injection volume without flooding. So as you can see in this picture, the syringe, it goes through the septum, and this is where in the vaporizing chamber, the sample that has been injected, it vaporizes, and then according to the method, like if you have given if this is a split injection or splitless injection, the rest will be vented out and rest gets injected onto the column. So now let's talk about the types of liner. There are main 6 categories, and each one is designed for specific applications. We'll go through each one and explain how it works and when you should use it. So the 6 types are standard split or splitless. Then second one is liner with wool. Then third is single taper. Fourth is double taper. Fifth is baffled. And sixth is packed liners. So let's talk about each one of them and when y'all can use it. So the number one is the standard split or splitless liner. So the first one that you can see, that is a straight tube with no packing or features inside. It's the most common versatile option and works great for clean sample and routine analysis. So if you're just starting out or working with relatively clean matrices or just the solutions like clean solutions, this is usually your go-to choice. It is simple, reliable and effective. Now type 2 liner is liner with glass wool. Now these have a small plug of deactivated glass wool inside. You can see it right there in the middle. The wool serves 2 purposes. It helps your sample vaporize more completely, and it can trap some of the non-volatile junk from dirty sample. Now this is great for things like environmental extract or biological samples. But here's the catch. That wool can cause thermal degradation of sensitive compounds. So if you are analyzing something fragile, you might want to skip the wool. Now type 3 is single taper or tapered liner. So see how it narrows at the bottom. This design, it focuses your sample vapor directly to the column entrance, which is perfect for splitless injection. If you're doing trace analysis and needs maximum sensitivity, then this is your friend. The tapered shape, it reduces dead volume and gets more of your sample onto the column instead of losing it in the inlet. Now type 4 is double taper, also called as gooseneck liner. This one has a narrow section in the middle which dramatically reduces dead volume. This design is ideal for fast GC applications and when you're using narrow bore columns. The reduced volume means faster sample transfer and sharper peaks. So if speed is what you're after, give this liner one try. Now coming to the fifth liner, that is your baffled liner. So if you look closely, you'll see this indentations or baffles inside on the inside surface. These creates turbulence as your sample vaporizes, which increases mixing and helps the complete vaporization. This is especially useful when you're doing large volume injections like 5 or 10 microliter that needs extra help to vaporize completely and uniformly. And finally, the type 6 is packed liner. These contain packing material like Tenex, carbo trap or silica. Now these packing traps non-volatile matrix components while letting your target analyte pass through to the column. This is your heavy duty option for really dirty sample. Think soil extracts, food matrices or biological fluids. The packing protects your column but needs to be replaced regularly because it gets saturated with the junk. Now while selecting the liner, your injection mode matters too. For split injections, standard liners or those with wool work great. And for splitless mode, especially when you need maximum sensitivity, go with a single taper to focus that sample vapor. And for large volumes, you'll want baffled or specially designed large volume liners. And also don't forget about the column compatibility. Your liner's inner diameter should match your column diameter. A narrow bore column needs a narrow liner to maintain efficiency. So using a wide liner with a narrow column creates unnecessary dead volume and degrades your separation. Always check the manufacturer's recommendation for your specific column. Now let's talk about the maintenance. How do you know when it's time to replace your liner? Now look for these warning signs, that is discoloration in the liner or visible deposit on the glass, then ghost peaks showing up in your blanks, then peak tailing or broadening of the peak, or loss of sensitivity or increased baseline noise. Some people try to clean liners, but honestly, they are inexpensive enough that it's usually better to just replace them. A fresh liner can solve so many problems. Now, quick installation tips. Always let your inlet cool before opening it, and handle liners with clean gloves. Your skin oils can contaminate them. And check your O-rings and replace them if they are worn. Make sure the liner is properly seated, and here's a big one. Don't over tighten the inlet cap. You can crack the liner or damage the seal. Finger tight plus a quarter turn is usually enough. So as I told you all before about the injection volume and choosing the liner. So for if it's 1 ml injection, then small volume liners you have to go with. And standard one is 1 to 2 ml volume. And for large volume, always go with baffled or large volume liners. Now when you're using a column with diameter of 0.25 mm, then always go with narrow liner. And the standard liner is used when your column size diameter is 0.32 mm, and when the column diameter is 0.53 mm, always go with wide bore liner. So this is just the summary of whatever we discussed about the liner type, which liner to be used when which sample or column are used. So I hope this video you found it helpful, and if there are any questions, please drop it in the comment below. Thank you.